See how wrong things can go. This batch of #YOLOAP was cut with Werther's Originals and cod liver oil. The mental effects are the same, but without the desired physical effects. The pensioner will continue to rave until expiration, about 10 seconds from now, at a huge expense to the taxpayer. Even worse, when we look at the creation of #YOLOAP, we see the drug as harming small communities. Here we see farmers gathering the grains used to create the drug. Although harmless in its natural state, fumes generated in the fermentation process have been proven to cause a deformity known as babyface. The afflicted suffer with inconvenient youth, meaning they must always carry proof of age when attempting to buy alcohol and ciggies. Side effects often include avoidance of homework, unsafe driving, unrequited morning wood, sugar, Harry Potter obsessions, and dead legs. In rare cases, many OAPs have become stuck in adolescence and have to plan for the future. Marriage, employment, university. University inevitably means more drugs, I'll have you wager. Surprisingly, users of #YOLOAP make up the highest percentage of teenage pregnancies. Some parents now worry about intergenerational whoopsie-doodles, the progeny of their progeny dangling like pendulous wilting berries off of the family tree.
I was wondering if you'd like to go to the Strand to see a movie Saturday night. Or if you'd rather go with the gang on a skating party and weenie roast. Weenie roast.
Curiously, #YOLOAP barely affects those under the age of 70. Users claim to feel symptomless nausea before appearing to regress to the point before they first took the drug. Hope is on the horizon, however. Sweden recently passed a law allowing for the preemptive abortion of the elderly. The streets are safe, television set at an unpainful volume, and the cheeks of the adorable remain unpinched. Alas, back in merry old Blighty, no ends in sight to the scourge of #YOLOAP. Government officials are drafting legislation to combat abuse of the substance, whilst denying that the Queen has herself been indulging in the fad. She did, however, form the rap posse, Little Liz, and the Bitch Slaps, much to the annoyance of Charlie.
I don't raise national debt if I sold my scepter, but I represent God, so show some respect. I lick the stamp. La 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 la, lick the stamp.
Remember, children and the elderly, there is a time to gurn and a time to learn.
Will you take an hour Splashmore?
Bum, bum, bum. I meant to go in the big screen. Nailed it. Hi, Internet. How's it going? It's Liam here. We're going to play some Stanley Parable, the, what is it called? The Ultimate Edition, Ultimate Deluxe, Ultra Deluxe version. I was really excited when this came out, and funny story, I turned on my regular version. I loaded my regular version of the Stanley Parable because I thought it was like an add-on to that. I thought the new stuff would just magically appear because I'm an idiot. I think it's just my white t-shirt through my jumper. Fun. I got distracted. I thought it would just, the new stuff would appear in the regular game, which obviously doesn't make any sense. And then I got an achievement because I hadn't played the game in 5 years. So that was nice. Got an achievement. We're going to play Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe version. I will stick subtitles on for you folks. Let's just jump in and see what happens. Yes, I have played it before. Okay, I actually want it quite bright for the benefit of you guys, because I know that we sort of reduce quality when we stream, so actually being a bit brighter. Oh, crikey, okay. We are 1 p.m, 2 minutes past 1. There we go. That's interesting. That's a fun feature. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Wonderful. This is all new. Oh, and I realised, actually, I've boosted the brightness on OBS, haven't I? Is that too bright? It's a little on the bright side. Let's just... Okay, we can maybe reduce the brightness ever so slightly. Maybe we can't. You know what? Show content warnings. Okay, That's wild. That we might have those issues. Sorry, let me reduce my mic volume as well. That's wild that these issues might come up. So for the benefit of the stream, I'm not clicking that. Okay, actually, tell you what. I'm going to click it. I'm going to do the stuff if it comes up. So so that provides you as the viewer with an option to skip if you need to. That's fine. But I'm going to do those sections. But if you just need to leave the game, leave the stream, that's all good. I get it. I don't know what reticle is. Subtitle size. I'll go large for the sake of the stream again. Okay, let's go with that. I can't change the brightness here, can I? Fine, let's do it. I could have done all of this preparation, but I didn't know when the game would actually start. I didn't know if it would just throw you into the game immediately. Let's do it. Stanley Parable. Stanley Parable. Okay. Just going to try and get used to the controls again because it's very slidey.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh, hello.
What could it mean?
What could it
Stanley
mean?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Shall I do... I'll do one run through, perhaps, basically following instructions. Just to see if that's different. Hey, it's Mondays. I get it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, we'll follow it through just to see what happens. It's see if it's any different from the original, I guess.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Exit bathroom. Oh. I think this is new. I don't remember there being a bathroom. So yeah, if you've not played Stanley Parable before, I'm basically just going to follow the story through. I think most people are probably aware of what the Stanley Parable is at this point. If not, basically it's a game that seems quite mundane. There's no one in your office. You follow the instructions and you see what's what. But basically, the more that you screw with the narrator, the more that he screws with you, essentially.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
I love this game so much.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, I thought this was... Why did I think that was the way? Loading screen.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Thank God. Ooh, sparks.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
This bit freaked me out the first time. I don't like big open spaces.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
I don't like huge
What
open spaces.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Not freedom. We love freedom.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Probably.
No. He refused to believe it.
Uppies.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I mean, probably.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Boom. I did it. I absolutely did it. Take that, the world.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Oh.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yeah.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Yeah.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Because you can't turn around and look.
The feeling of liberation.
I remember.
The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, Stanley. Well. Wellity well. Beat the game, get your first achievement. Wonderful. My achievements are slightly hidden behind my face there, which is fine. Right, so that's not the time at all. So let's
all of his co-workers
screw with the guy.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Awaiting input. Ooh. Input received. Nope. What is... Do you want more input? I can't give you any more input. This guy's off. I'm just going to try all the doors. Because I know the broom closet opens.
When Stanley came to a set of two
Screw
open
you.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
That's weird. Where's a computer noise? It's a good lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I know, shocking. Good advice. Can I can't jump, can I? That would be a problem. I want to die.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Hell yeah, I did.
Good job, Stanley.
Good job,
Everyone
thank you.
thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wonder if turning off... Oh, hello. Okay, we're going to keep doing that.
When Stanley came to a set of two
Screw
open
you.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
I
well.
did, that's true.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow.
Wow.
Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous,
Coffee nut.
gorgeous room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
The hell I did.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
That's true,
So
I
now
did.
in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Oh, I'm hearing my own keyboard sounds, I guess.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Asshole. Wait.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Absolutely not.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
This looks fine. Oh yeah, we're here.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm?
You got it, buddy.
Okay, from the top.
Whatever you say.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Precious memo. Where's the awaiting input guy? Have I ruined it somehow? Where's awaiting input? Here? Well, on my computer's locked. Okay. Oh, this must still be part of the... previous playthrough, I guess. So it's not actually a new level yet.
When Stanley...
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait,
this is
what?
different. Oh,
No,
chills.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did
Everything should
something
be.
change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No.
Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on.
Of course not.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Yeah, asshole.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Ugh. Groan. This feels like some awful Slenderman type game. I'm waiting for a jump scare of some kind. Because it isn't a horror game, but it could be. Oh, this bit. Okay. Oh, or not. There's chairs in the way of that one.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
Yeah.
Do we need to restart the game again?
I don't think so, buddy.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
I guess. Whatever you say. This will still be the same
All
playthrough.
of his
I would have
co-workers
thought.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I missed the memo. I think that was all of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this will still be the same level, I guess. Yeah, no doors. Fine.
Okay, yep, it's worse.
It's worse.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Do you reckon? Do you reckon it's back here somewhere? I don't think these doors were here, were they? They feel new.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story.
Ugh.
Here it comes.
Okay.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Nope.
Do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off.
Thank
So,
you.
Good job.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
I've already won. You can't
We
take
both
it back.
know you didn't put in any actual work for that.
How
win.
dare you?
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
Yeah,
I
same.
don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right,
That's-
I've got a solution.
Okay.
This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I love that it's trademarked in the text there. Ooh, okay, this is new. Solitaire. It stays on apparently.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction.
Okay.
Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it
Well.
another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, Are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Certainly, yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
Sure.
Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Unforgivable.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
You reckon?
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Pressed print screen, don't think I did anything.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Back at the office.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
So this way? Yeah, okay. Yes.
Oh, no, not again. Line,
Not again.
how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been
Is that a
through...
paperclip?
You... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Is this the one where the narrator doesn't interact?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Ah, come
We're
on.
intelligent people, right?
Sure.
Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Yeah.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
What direction? In here? Yeah, you got it.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Are you? Oh, we're back here. Whoopsie. Didn't necessarily mean that. I wish there was a sprint button. No, there's a crawl, no jump, no sprint. Okay. What do I want our story to be? Is this the one where it drops us into Minecraft? Because that would serve me just right, I imagine.
Oh, no, not you again.
Yeah.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Done.
No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Don't acknowledge the line. Got it. Although we are going the same direction as it.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
Can I go back
from
where I came
here,
from?
the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Quite.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know
not
that
doing that.
each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
I love...
Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I love the sort of logic that the narrator implies. Is very much reminds me of sixth form philosophy logic, where you aren't actually like making any good decisions. You're just using these words that you know. Oh,
hold up, what's this?
Huh.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game
Here we are.
eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall.
So many.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this?
Yeah.
Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Probably not.
The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know?
How would we even know?
Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
True.
So I hope that's where we are right now.
Sure.
We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Eventually.
Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh, I hated that. Oh, I really hated that. Okay, so as this narrator forgets about...
All of his co-workers were
Yeah.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There are elements of this game that would make a great horror game, like that incredibly loud air horn. Hello.
Oh, new content?
Yes, please.
What does that mean?
What does it
new
mean?
Content.
New content. Oh, off I go. Off I heckin' go. Hello. This is all very new. Huge office.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yes.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
The world over.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I'd love to.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Samesies.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Fair
Is
enough.
it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or, oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Is it going to be a search for new content? Is that what the new content is?
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh no, I only had that many jumps. Okay, fair enough.
Is that it?
That's it.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
No, maybe not.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yeah.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Do it.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game?
Why don't we?
And we'll try to get
Why
back
don't
to
we?
what the Stanley Parable is really about.
Parables?
No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Like always.
What do you say, friend?
Friend? I don't get to decide, do I? Of course I don't. That's the game. New office. Like the old office. Hello. This I don't mind.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent!
In the
I want
vent?
to show you something!
I mean... Yeah, I guess. Oh, what is this? Coffee nut. Here we go. Of course I'm going to go in the vent. Obviously.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be?
Oh,
Well, it
boy.
got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Aw. Look at all that. Good times. This is very creepy. I remember the demonstration very well. Go outside. Yeah, I got that one. Well, what's this? Ah, is that a piano? Can I play the piano? What is this?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's
game
how
ever
grand and
created.
all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Ooh, a door. Okay, interesting. Ooh. The original buttons. French. Oh yeah, two colour doors, of course.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Can I go in the maintenance
These
room?
were simpler times,
Yeah.
Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh no.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
This is all hugely upsetting, by the way, just if anyone's trying to keep track of my emotional state.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You are preachy.
Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
Maybe you did.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Wow. Rude.
A
Just
skip
rude.
button. Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Hell yeah.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
no.
I think it's been a week.
A week.
Or 2 weeks.
2
I've
weeks.
been sitting here all that time.
That's a shame. That's really bad.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here
Yes.
again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you.
Come on. I don't want to be trapped. Does that clock? That clock must move as well. Oh, I don't like that.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
This is so bleak. I love it, but it is bleak.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I hate it. I hate all of it. I hate it. I don't want to go back to the office. I really want to go back to the office. Come on. Let me go back. Yeah, okay, this is what I want. I want to be able to leave. I want to just leave. This is good. This is what I want. And then... Aha! Progress of a sort. Okay, it's going to be Stray now, isn't it? Oh. Oh no. I'm getting a little more afraid every time I press the button. Yeah, I really hate all of this. I'm turning the volume down. I might take my headphones off as well. Like, why did the plants stop living? I want to say I've learnt my lesson, but I definitely haven't. Oh. Oh! Does the button not work anymore? Oh, come on now. I can't press it again, can I? I think the button's broke. I hate it. I hate all of it. I'm having a bad time. Can I go up? Uppies? No uppies. Okay. I hate it. I sincerely hate it. Okay. Alright. So, how do we know if this is still the same level? Just need to take a minute. That was stressful.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Great.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm hoping to see the... No, the input computer, because otherwise this will be the same. I mean...
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Yeah. Because I've done this bit before. Are we going over here this time? No. We're just tumbling off into the distance. Wonderful. Wonderful. We don't have to do that bit again. Great. Very pleased about that. Elevator.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable.
I'm sure you
and
have
about
been.
how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
Yeah.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So
Certainly.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Make it a horror
Which
game.
is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah? You reckon?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean?
What does it
the
even mean?
Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Can't turn a computer off.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
I'm sure.
But let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Velvet rope. Expo Hall 2. Jesus.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Like what? Merch? Ooh. Okay, fine, you got me. The StanleyParable2.com. Yeah, it's a website for the Stanley Parable 2 as advertised. That's a large man over there. Please no screenshots. Hang on, so reassurance bucket is over there. Office decorations an infinite hole in here. I don't know how I feel about an infinite hole. Jump circle again, infinite hole. The button that says the name of the players playing the game. Okay, where is the button? That's in the game, right? That wasn't my phone. Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind,
Fallout
my
4.
first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind,
Done.
forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Done.
I want...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
Agreed.
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
You got it.
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says, but no. Instead, oh, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Oh no. Okay, I'll be good. I'll be good.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
You reckon?
An
Epilogue.
epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
No.
Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Free achievement. Yes. I want the free achievement. Yeah.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Great.
Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Okay. That was great. Really wonderful. Ooh, this is new, isn't it? No? No. Well, I nearly got an achievement there. That would have been cool.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Collect them all. Ugh.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Hated that.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Alright, infinite hole. I guess infinite hole. I haven't tried out the infinite hole. Or is this open now? What's this? No screenshots. Oh, well, clearly I'm
Okay,
going to take a
I'll be honest, I
screenshot.
haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No.
Well, what's this
No,
screenshot
I've made
button?
my decision. We're moving on.
Can never remember. F12. Oh, press wrong one. There we go. Lots of screenshots. Of course. Is this the infinite hole? No, that's the reassurance bucket. Where's the infinite hole? Wait, is that... Okay. Infinite hole. Infinite hole. You got it, buddy. Infinite hole. Up to the plants. Looking forward to finding an infinite hole. Is it here? No, that would be fun.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of.
Yeah?
It's never been done before in
No.
a video game.
Uh-huh.
This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's
Right.
Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A
Sweet.
stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Well.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh. I'm going to take a break while I'm falling then.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Oh, well. Hang on, I thought I had...
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Ow, I've reached the bottom.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Sorry, folks, I'm just trying to... I was trying to turn this button on and off. Because I think it'd be very entertaining. Sorry, do bear with. What is it? Scene 2. I'm just doing some OBS. Janky rearranging. Scene 2, hide. Hide Liam button. Sorry. Apply. Okay, right. I'm just gonna sit in this hole for a moment. Okay. That's the one. Nothing happened. I'm still here. Okay, G.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my... Oh, for heaven... You
Did it
see,
again.
I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
Yeah.
I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about. And I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Ooh, there's more up. Oh, I can't access the more up. That's a shame. I think it's then just the reassurance bucket, isn't it? Jump circle we've done.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Wonderful. Where am I going? Oh. Okay, I didn't really realise I was coming up here. I thought I was going down. Yes, I accidentally went through stairs when I shouldn't have. Oh well. Huh. Reassurance bucket? Yeah. I assume it's a bucket that is reassuring. Oops, I missed the door.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical.
Yeah.
That it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Yeah.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
Yeah,
Yes,
certainly.
the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in
Didn't
the
like
face
that.
of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
That's good.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Good.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Just wanted that. Okay, so I've got a bucket now. That's great. He's going to take it away from me the second I leave the door, isn't he? No?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I feel like that's... Can I leave now? Was there an exit advertised somewhere? I would like to use that now. This is gym, jump circle, most infinite hole. Exit. This way. Can I not leave? Is that the thing? Oh no, it's this way. Okay. I definitely want to leave.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yes.
Ready to move on now?
Yes. Hello, mysterious bag. There is something hugely upsetting about exhibition centres, I've got to say. Yeah, we got a...
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere.
You reckon?
Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of...
Collectible.
Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Two infinite
Who am I kidding,
holes.
Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
No, that's true.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait,
That's true.
maybe that's it.
More
I
of
can
the
take
original?
the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Ooh, that's a cool.
Tastefully, of course.
There you go.
With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Sure.
Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's as advertised. That's a great title screen. Big fan of title screens. Incredible.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
2.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
With balloons now.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on it.
Yeah. Great. Balloons. Balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Great.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office.
Of course.
But it didn't make a single... Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yeah, I did. Boxes. Ooh, velvet rope. Okay. Stupid. Stupid game that I love.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Do we just finish the game with the bucket? It takes a while, doesn't it?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Maybe.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. Coming to a staircase, Stanley
Oh, no.
and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Stanley and the bucket went downstairs.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment.
I'm savouring.
You come across one of
I
these
am.
beautiful figurines.
I'm absolutely savouring it.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
Oh no, the bucket does nothing.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
My bucket.
And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd.
Very odd.
And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
No.
Gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful.
That's not.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Oh no. Because of my bucket. Because of my
This is
lack
the
of
story
bucket.
Of a woman named Mariella.
Oh yeah. This is why they had the
Mariella
content
woke
warning.
up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself,
That's
and
me.
then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Yep.
Right away,
That's
she
what I
knew
do.
what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
No bucket.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
If only.
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mary.
How cruel.
And she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
One big backflip or several little backflips? What do you think? The end is never the end. Right. Can I do computer inputs again?
Just a step through this door, Stanley
Ooh.
thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Meeting today in the meeting room. No bucket today, I think. No velvet rope either. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
know.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I did, that's true.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It's a good
The
lounge.
was sublime.
Great lounge.
A work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
Oh, I
off
wanna
on the
see what's
wrong
over there.
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's
Shocking,
someone
eh?
you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Go on then.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines?
Stanlerines.
Yes, I think I like that.
Yeah.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Great. Crap, which one did he say?
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
Sure, I get
The problem is
it.
all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley?
Yeah, I do.
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution.
Do you now?
Here, let me show you.
They're both black. Okay, I'm going to go this one for no reason. Alley up.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Not sure.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
I hate it.
I actually feel happy.
I properly hate it. This is not nice. I do not like. Ooh. Okay, it is kind of pretty. I don't mind that. I am probably going to leave though. I am tempted to see the whole show, but like, I imagine it'll take days. But isn't that the joy? Don't really want to.
No, wait.
Ooh.
Where are you going?
Okay. Content warning. Be aware.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll
Okay.
lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what...
Oh.
Oh!
That was sort of an accident.
Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment.
Yeah, same.
No. Come on, no. No, no, what are you doing,
Obviously,
Stanley?
I'm not going back.
Please,
Of
I'm
course
asking
not.
you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I want to press the buttons on the computer.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Okay, I'm curious. I have done that, like the walk off the stairs to kill yourself a million times before, but I haven't gone back.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
No. But then what's here? Nothing? Just this for ages?
I know you'll see. You'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
I'm beginning to understand, yes. But like, there's no game in here. Back we go.
No, perhaps not.
Perhaps not. Perhaps not. It's very creepy. I totally
My
get
God.
why for some
Is this
people
really
this
how
would be
much you
really
dislike
upsetting.
my game?
I get it.
But you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
Yeah,
You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
yeah,
Am I reading the situation correctly?
I think so. Skadoosh.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
It is
I
hard to
just
tell.
wanted us to get along,
Did you?
but I guess that was too much to ask.
Uh-huh.
It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
I did.
Well, this one is yours.
I wanted to make the wrong choice. That's what I wanted to happen. Oh, it's going to make me crawl up another time, isn't it?
Is it over?
Okay, good.
It's going to
I was gonna be
restart,
annoying.
isn't it? I'm going back.
Yeah, you are. Hard to know whose purgatory it is, me or the narrators.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and
That's true.
constantly needed support and guidance from others.
That's
so
very
the thought
true.
of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Yeah, I hate it. What if I complete the game normally
Stanley
with the
lifted
bucket?
the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Just to see what that does.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Way ahead of you, buddy. Although I do want to put the bucket in the broom cupboard. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Source of levitation. Okay. There will be a reward for finding all of them. Place to search. A large room, lots of boxes. Nearby a fireplace. A private but smelly place. Okay, so nearby a fireplace in the boss's office and in their bathroom, maybe. So that's fine. So we'll carry on with the normal quest.
Coming to a staircase,
hated that.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Hell yeah. Yeah, boy.
I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you
Figlies.
think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one?
Figlies.
Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
It's Figlies. It's clearly Figlies. So there should be another one in his office, because I think that's the only fireplace. Oh yeah. Nifty. Hells yeah. I can't remember what that does.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
It's a good bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would.
Can't remember.
And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't note, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Sheer
Was it
luck.
the bucket knew all along?
The bucket
Was
knew.
the bucket guiding him?
Absolutely.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Finishing the game with a bucket. Do 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 bucket. Where is the other fireplace then? For the Figlies. Stupid
The
name.
elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you,
I do
Stanley.
need that.
Everything will be fine.
I do need a bucket in like my day-to-day life. Oh, can I go up again? Oh, I can, huh?
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Interesting. Definitely never noticed that before, the number 3. That might be new, it might not be new. What's up there?
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Well, okay. Is this door open now? Because it was black before, wasn't it? No. There's 3 of these. Okay, no, I'll just leave. Oh, wait, no, hang on. Is there a... I swear at some point there's been a button under this desk. I'm sure. Okay, fine, I'll just leave. Tricking me to go try out the number 3.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3.
I did enjoy that. Very much. Very, very much.
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should Stanley and the bucket walk straight ahead through the large door that read,
what was...
Mind Control Facility?
Was it asking me to go up again? Okay, we're doing this apparently.
No, 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 said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
I might Google it if it's not like immediately obvious what is supposed to happen here.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Stanley Parable number 3. Okay, there is a 3 ending. Okay, let's follow this. Adverts everywhere. Okay, so then take the elevator back up a 3rd time and there will be a press conference. Of course it's a 3rd time. Of course it is.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another.
That's
Why
true.
suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused
Sorry
Stanley
about
to
that.
ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to
Must be.
communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Hope you're ready to go back up that elevator.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I like that the narrator isn't saying anything this time.
Ah, said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others.
Quite right.
It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life. This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one. There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak.
Oh
to
no.
listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant.
Many years?
They spoke less
Goddamn.
and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship,
Why is it
was
dusty?
cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Oh no. That doesn't sound like fun. I want to put the bucket in the broom cupboard. That's what I want to do. That's my personal ambition.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Bucket's going in the broom cupboard, y'all.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah. I think. A large room, lots of boxes. Oh, okay. So, the warehouse, I guess.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here.
Yeah.
It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
That makes sense.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be.
Can I just give
given
it?
the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial?
I want to give it the bucket.
Is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in
Sure.
an even partially enticing manner?
Sure.
Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Can I not just give him the bucket?
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Ha!
There. Now it's settled. No more debate.
Fine.
No more discussion.
Fine.
Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
So what we could do now, because I need to go to the place with all the boxes.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Sheer luck.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We're going to take a left. Take the exit, which I know is not an exit. We're going to do that.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that
Zoom.
read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
That's true.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Not gonna.
At this point,
Not
Stanley
gonna.
and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Correct. That is what's happening. That's why it's red. Infinite hole. I can crouch, can't I? That'll keep me safe.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death?
Quite.
This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Hey, it's fine.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal
I
jaws.
don't like it.
In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh no, not the bucket. Ah! God damn it. Boxes. Nope.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was
Yeah.
a glorious bucket to
Good
behold.
bucket. Hey, where'd my bucket go? Oh no. Great.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you
Sure.
see the hubris that blinded him?
Totally.
Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
That's nice. The first bucket, yeah.
No man can own a bucket.
Sure.
And certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh, it's the bucket from earlier. Infinite hole. Wait, can I? Bucket. I missed you, Bucky.
But there is something we can do.
Gosh.
Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander
leader.
of a new world, a new vision.
Oh. Oh no. But how does the bucket not also get squished? Right? Gosh. I actually can't remember what that does. Oh. I'm just pressing all the green ones, I don't know why. This might take a while. Or do I have to press all of them? Not sure. Is this heaven? I think they click themselves after a while, don't they? Or do they? Yeah, they unclick. Is there a certain colour of button that doesn't unclick? Am I lost? Am I actually dead? Because they all appear to be coming back, or are they? Because some of them are coming back darker, are they? Like these three. It was like dark orange with a light orange in the middle. No, they're fine. Okay, interesting. Do I begin the game again, I guess? Yeah. Well, I made it to heaven. But I think I've done that before. Okay, so I can just go to heaven there anytime I want, which is wonderful.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So the place with all the boxes has a Stanley, a figurine. Stanley, I can't remember what they're called. And that is, of course, this way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
He
this was
thought
not
for
the correct
himself.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
That could be it. Who even
Standing
knows?
now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first
What a
but
room.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first
Back to
open door on
business.
his left.
Gasp.
Stanley
Room
was
with
so
lots of
bad at following
boxes.
directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ooh. No. What? Oh, is there a... Oh, no. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Ooh.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So
I hate it.
far off the beaten path.
I
You
hate...
didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording?
Well...
It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I don't care. Oh. Same again, but don't fall down the hole this time. Go and see where that little path takes us. Because I'm pretty sure that takes us to...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Ooh.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We lost the end is never the end. So we'll follow that path again and not fall down
When
the...
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors.
pipe
This was
this
not
time.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Knew it perfectly
Perhaps
well.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Boy howdy.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
This time.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
There he is.
You're getting close now, Stanley.
Where's
You've
the last
nearly
one?
gotten all of the Figler Anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlarines. None of us can.
Warehouse. Stairs to the boss's office. Coloured door rooms. I think I got those. Near a fireplace. After typing into the boss's keypad, opening up the secret passageway, instead of turning left towards the elevator, turn right towards a figurine. Okay. How do I... Can I get back? Oh no, now I've got to go down there. I don't want to go down there.
But in his eagerness
Yeah.
to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Apparently.
Good job, Stanley.
Thank you.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
That's great. Did I actually finish the game with the bucket? I don't think I did. Let's... Ooh. That's new, isn't it? Can I not pick up the phone? Oh, it's this one.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
They're going to fall on me as I attempt to go about my day, aren't they?
Spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So we're going to do it... We're going to try and finish normally with the bucket. Nearby fireplace, okay. I love that I've got a sticker now.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire.
Yeah, I cried a bunch.
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
The bucket's all powerful,
Yes,
man.
this is certainly the most logical explanation. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
Yeah.
This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Sake of doing
Where
it.
so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Absolutely.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them.
That would be nice.
But that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
No, it's
so,
true.
instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here.
Great.
And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Who even knows at this point? I mean, let's finish the game normally with a bucket. See what that does. Sort of thought there'd be achievement at that point, but no. Apparently there is a reward, according to that thing we read. Mind
Stanley and the bucket
control.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Go bucket.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Yeah, it would
What
seem so.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Oh. Me.
The
That.
monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
No, I didn't.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Everything will be fine, probably. I reckon.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Could
Had
be.
the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's
There's
feet.
another platform over there.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in
No.
someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Quite right. Quite right.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over
Or do we
another
say
human life.
on?
For he and the bucket would dismantle. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror.
Stupid bucket.
Had this been the bucket's plan all along?
Yeah.
To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
I reckon.
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Ah.
Silly birds.
Okay.
The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Silly birds.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad about that. Okay. Alrighty. Stupid birds. No balloons. No balloons. Where are the boxes? Do I get boxes? You said there would be boxes. Oh. Oh no. No, no, no.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figlets. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Yeah.
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
We'll go to the memory zone. Fine. I don't like the memory zone.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Just gonna bypass that. Found it very creepy.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone
Great.
6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
No. Actually
Hey,
can't.
that's exactly right.
Wonderful.
It was here by the red and blue doors.
Yeah.
It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
Quite right.
I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Oh, these are this. Okay, good.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a figly in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Certainly. I can believe that. Ugh. Oh yeah.
This
All the
was the
boxes.
fifth mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. You're welcome. I miss Windows Movie Maker. Sincerely.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Oh, that was weird. I kind of want to kill myself. And now, yeah. I wonder what happens if you do them in a different order.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the
The last
last
collectible.
the
Yep.
final figurine, right here behind the boss's office.
Correct.
This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who
Yep.
can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them.
That's
They're
all of them.
collected.
All collected.
It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly.
Exactly, yeah. I hate the memory place.
And then
Ugh.
there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future.
Hey, it's that
Goodbye,
fun.
Memory zone.
I hate the memory zone. I do. I hate it.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines?
No.
Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
I don't want to. I think I'm being encouraged to kill myself.
Yes, the back of the boss's office. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video.
We can't.
Don't you remember the video we watched?
Are you kidding? Oh.
Yes, I love that video.
I can't jump off. I want to, but I can't. That's upsetting. I get it. I guess I get it. If this
Still
door
don't
would
remember the
open.
pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though.
Yep.
A solid room.
Does this... Yeah, now that I mention it, I don't remember what that room was.
These really were a treat to hunt down.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
were.
If there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Can't read. Can I go this way? Boss's bathroom. No, I can't go this way. It was the boss's bathroom. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, whichever one of those just gets replaced with the pink room.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember?
Of
Yes, I remember
course.
it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing.
It
Why
must
does
be.
anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Ugh. Ugh, hate it. The jumping circle, yeah.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office.
Yep.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
No.
There's something I feel I can remember.
Don't.
I can remember.
Don't.
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Is it the intro?
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different.
Were you?
I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
What does that mean? Is it going to lock the game? I sort of hope it locks the game. That'd be rad. That would be extreme. Boxes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps I'd simply missed a memo. Load of good boxes here. Jolly good. There's a box there. Oh no. Oh, this is different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, I did. I'm a good boy.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an...
I mean, yeah. Reboot the game entirely. Fine. Let's do that. Quit to menu. Quit to desktop. I trust the people in that boardroom. Come on. So then if I go... yeah, sorry, I was trying to work out if I need to maybe restart Steam, but perhaps not. What happens now? Present the counter. To 313. Here we are. Hang on. You can just say something. It's my favourite time. Okay. Thank you for that. I love it. I love this game so much. Begin the game. So let's see what happens now. I'm following instructions.
This is the
Achievement unlocked. Welcome back. Thank you.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Who knows?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's see what it says.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, I rebooted my game entirely like I was told. Following instructions.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yeah.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, God damn it.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I'm trying to work out what the alternate endings are from this point onwards, because I thought something would have happened by this point, because it told me to reset the game.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar.
I'll have to
It was
Google.
a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, okay. Right. So I get, yeah, it does just reset the game. Okay, I don't know. Fine, whatever, don't care. Let's see if we can screw with it in some way. I know that there's
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
in the next bit after this, I think we can press some buttons and cause some chaos. I think.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
It
screens.
sure did, buddy.
What horrible secret did this place hold?
Who knows?
Stanley thought to himself.
Actually, no, I could just begin the game again. What am I doing? Duh. Let's find some more new stuff.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Because I've never actually taken the elevator properly in this bit.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not your enemy, really.
No,
I'm not.
I see that.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
It is
but
difficult.
The fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
That's why it's named after me.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
It's me.
Someone you've forgotten about.
Myself.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Okay.
Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her.
Her.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Is it God?
She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
What? I don't remember this.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Yeah?
I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Go on, then. Is it nothing?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Come on, buddy.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Of course.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
Give me that lunch.
Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
It is on me somewhat.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures.
I sure
From behind
can.
his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
No, it's true. I'd love to watch
And so
TV.
he began to fantasize about his own job.
Do I have a TV?
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
That's what happened.
The thought excited him terribly.
It would be different.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
I haven't found the game with the baby yet.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Is it just going to be the same thing until I inevitably...
You see?
Yeah.
Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
Try it.
Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
I find that
And
unlikely.
I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
That was upsetting. Okay, so
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm trying to work out what I can do to make things different. Do I need the bucket with me, maybe?
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Because there was the content room, the new content room. I feel it was this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
It was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Can I go backwards? Nope. Worth a try.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
No, that bit I hate. That bit freaks me out. So we will just go boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Gonna let him
Crushed by
talk
the
a
weight
little
of
bit.
this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Because in the mind control bit, I think you can press a few different buttons, I think. I mean, we'll find out, won't we?
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
Unknown fate.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Boop.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
I mean, a
screens.
skip button would be
What
very
horrible
handy.
secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
We wonder.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Could be.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Only the bucket. Yeah, this
But
place.
here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
3. I don't know where 4 is. 4 is up there. Can I get up there? Can't there. Can I get up there? No. How do I... God, it's so dark I can't see a damn thing. In this way? No. One. Okay, they just make random noises every time. 1, 2. 3, and I can't get up there to press 4. No. Okay, that's annoying. What if I just go press 5 a bunch? Oh no, I need to go press the on button, don't I? Yeah. I'm gonna press the on button. Oh wait, no, doesn't he just say that the bucket... Right, yeah. Okay, so I'll finish the game with the bucket in the normal way.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
You can only do the mind control bit without the bucket, I guess, because otherwise you get the bird ending.
Yes, they had done it.
We had done it.
Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy.
Yes.
Freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine.
Take that,
Freedom
capitalism.
was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate.
Weird.
Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
I don't like
Was
it.
Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
Apparently not.
An unbearable silence filled the room.
It is unbearable.
Lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Oh no. No!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket.
No.
Needed the soothing warmth of the bucket. Would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
That's true.
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay. I don't love it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Trying to think if there's a way to discover any more
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
content.
he entered the door on his left.
Because wasn't it here, the new content thing?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad.
Oh, okay.
Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Alright, sarcastic. How do they get back to the new content? God damn. Or do I just have to... Is it going to
Stanley
zoom
walked
me
straight
through
ahead through the
everything?
large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yes, please.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, apparently you can climb on this thing now. Yeah.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development.
Oh, fun.
And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So, here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful.
I should have been careful.
Used to be.
I don't want to hear this. It's going to get like removed probably for copyright if that song's up on Spotify, which I imagine it will be, because that would be really funny.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So the new content door is like this one, I think.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm trying to think if there's...
Yet there was not a single
So I was going to
person
go
here either.
through and
Feeling a
do...
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Okay, this does seem to, like, remove some of the magic from it. Kind of funny though. I don't hate it. Essentially having a skip button. Oh, I got stuck on it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So I'm not going to yeet myself over this time. I'm going to get to the end and see if I can do the turning on the mind control.
The lights
ending.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Yes, it did.
What horrible secret did this place hold?
Don't know yet.
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Poke.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature
I find
revealed.
these things intriguing.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Button.
This mind control facility,
I've got that
it was too horrible
song
to
stuck in my
believe it
head.
couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Well done, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. A stupid song, I love it.
Emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly. No, he refused to believe it.
I refuse to believe it.
Accept it. His
Nope.
own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
It is.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Was it even possible?
No.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I don't think so.
But here was the proof.
Yep.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his
Almighty,
past
how's it going, my
began to
dude?
sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery wouldn't... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
It did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is
Hell
that
yeah.
what you wanted?
Absolutely.
Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do.
Thank you.
But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls
Are these
off
on yet?
and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh, yeah.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA
It's mental over here.
nuclear detonators are set to explode.
How's it for you?
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
Great.
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stan?
It is.
It's your
Okay, I
time
can
to
press buttons
shine.
now.
You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments
Press
until
5.
the bomb
Okay.
goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that?
3 attempts
You'd like to know
remaining.
where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die
Green?
anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons
So,
endlessly
just
and
while
then
he's
die
talking...
alone.
Shut up.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground.
Yes, there is a stream tomorrow. 1 o'clock our time. I don't know what that is on your time. and it's just going to be a hangout stream rather than a podcast recording. And yeah, we'll go live for a couple hours. We may end up playing Fall Guys or something stupid. It'll be nice. Windstorms and torrential rain, but at least the drought has ended. Yeah, bright side. Oh, what am I supposed to be doing then? If not green.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I don't. I have no idea.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to
green,
button, screen to screen, clicking
yellow.
on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
Yeah.
Why would you think that, Stanley?
Oh no.
That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved?
I had thought.
Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds
3.
way to your death. You're only still
I can press
playing instead of
3.
watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made
3's over here, but 3 isn't blue.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
3.
You wanted to control this world, that's fine.
What do you mean incorrect?
Destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom.
Don't know what's going on.
No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go?
Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to know
Choice.
what to do.
Or don't. It's all the same to me.
Okay.
All part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Big boom. Big bloody boom. Stupid narrator. Back to normal. I want the new content. Oh, hello, this is new. Yay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want my bucket.
Good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Absolutely not.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the
6 a.m., yeah.
lounge was simply the place to be.
Oh, you get the daylight savings again.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
What do I want to do? I'm not sure. Maybe I do go back to the meeting room?
So the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
With the bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Bathroom. Oh. That's new. That graffiti used to be different. Oh no! What the hell? It's not a business strategy. Or up. I think I want to go up. Up? You get an achievement if you haven't played it in a significant number of years. If you just load it up, you get an achievement. I discovered that by accident. Oh no, this is the same. Down then? This elevator not go anywhere. I don't think this goes anywhere. I could be wrong.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human.
There is quite a lot of
Crushed
new
by the
stuff.
weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
I'm trying to see if I can rediscover some of the new stuff.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
It's entirely possible I've exhausted the new stuff in like the last couple hours, but I don't know. Although I think it was in the... Let's begin the game again. The bucket's really fun.
All of his co-workers were gone.
That's a good
What did it
sign.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's the room before the decision room. So it's like there. Maybe if I keep doing this.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Dunno.
What could it mean?
Could mean
Stanley
anything.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ooh. Yeah, this is new. But it should have been there.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
So we'll go through the normal route because that was weird. They changed it. Is there anything new in here? No.
Yet there was not a single person here.
I think if there's not anything new by this point, it's worth just going back to the start again. I'm guessing. I hate this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not...
No, this is the same. Ooh, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Can I... Dog mode? Yeah, dog mode. I want the bucket with dog mode.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Oh, does that mean I can just... Oh, hell yeah. Activated dog mode.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Oh, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Wonderful. Anything else? No. Okay.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now, the broom...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What was down here? I'm not a fan of this spooky bit, but we do have a bucket.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his
Yeah,
boss,
let's just skip.
admitting he had left his post during work.
Okay. I want to see if there's any more
Soft wind blew
stickers.
outside and perhaps rain started.
Ooh.
And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket.
I want
a
more
bucket
stickers.
Of culture and distinction.
Yeah, how do you put it
Stanley
under?
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I want more stickers.
Still no one was here.
Rule of 3, yo. There's got to be a new
needed the
sticker.
bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Damn. Damn.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I feel like there would be more stickers, you know. I feel like there should be more here. It's not a good business strategy.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an...
Nah. So why... What do we got to do to get more...
All of his co-workers were gone.
Of the new content?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe I Google it. I don't know. Well, let's go yeet myself off the thing again.
Meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Because I think it said play through the vanilla endings a few times.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Although, what was down the maintenance shaft? I can't remember.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
It is incredible, isn't it?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him
Squish.
what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
Good job.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I think I'm powerful. Fingers crossed for new content room. Oh, I hate the phone.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
He does have a wife. Huh. I mean, that's more upsetting, to be honest. That's where that should have been. So then let's go...
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I feel like that would just hurt rather than kill you, but...
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Maintenance
shaft.
shaft.
Through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead
Button.
to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Bye, y'all. Goodbye, y'all.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
Oh,
so
yeah,
now, in
yeah.
order to get back, he needed to go,
I can't bother with this bit. I want more of those phone calls. That was creepy. Ooh, that didn't load.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Okay, well, I think we're just going to do a little bit and then keep restarting to try and get that. More of them.
Of an old friend, a weathered companionship.
More phone calls.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
What if we restart the game whilst we're in the... I feel like that should be an achievement.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Now I want a phone call, buddy. I don't want the narration.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Maybe I've broken it somehow, or maybe it is just random.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
I'd love to see weather. Let's try again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still,
I wonder if, like, we've actually exhausted everything. Oh, okay. Memos.
how long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial?
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but
That's
Stanley
true.
is a very lucky fellow.
I am.
Very lucky indeed.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
This was not the correct way to the
I wonder if there's a
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
if that's a way to
telling
trigger
him that
new
the employee lounge was simply the
versions.
place to be.
So if I'm in
And here we
here and I restart at this point,
all of his co-workers were gone.
maybe not.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Simply missed a memo. Beep.
It
Bucket.
takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Stanley...
I'm just going to try restarting in different places just to see what that does.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Okay,
could it mean?
so...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm a big fan of dog mode.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ooh, that's Rain. Hello, Rain.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
What's down here
upstairs to
again?
his boss's office.
Oh, yeah. Dog mode. Dog mode. What does dog mode do? Oh, it's already open.
Here's
That's a
the
bit
door,
upsetting.
just go.
Maybe I'll just finish it normally with dog mode. Stanley dog mode. Let's have a look. Randomly, when the game restarts, the office is blue. Open. Console bark. Entering the bark command in the source developer console will replace the keystroke. Oh, I've already got. Oh. That was in the previous version, not this version. Oh, okay, so it doesn't do anything. It's just that you go woof now. Which is wonderful, I suppose.
All of his co-workers
Telephone, that's what I was going to do.
Stanley
Stanley Parable.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Telephone. The phone. Desk 434.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
3 random calls from his wife. A Future Happiness Foundation employee or random stranger. The phone in the phone room. Point of divergence after you ride the cargo lift in the warehouse. If you pick it up, it's taking this apartment ending. If you decide to unplug the phone, you will end up in the Not Stanley ending. Interesting. Okay, I think I've not done that one. Oh, it goes left. Oh, I hate that. It's normally right. I could be wrong. I don't know. Let's take this.
The bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate.
I do feel
Stanley clutched
assertive.
The bucket tightly to his. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here
So
it
let's have a
was,
look at
that the
how I
bucket
get
turned out
there.
was no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
How do I get to the phone room? Do I jump off the thing? The phone room is supposed to take the cargo lift in the warehouse to the other side without jumping off. Wonderful. So instead of answering the phone, we're going to unplug it, apparently.
No,
said the bucket.
That was
Don't
creepy.
go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Oh.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
Creepy
It
bucket.
should have alarmed him, of course, because
It should
buckets
have.
can't talk.
No, they
but
can't.
Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
Not worrying about
He
it.
was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Hell yeah. Can I just... There we go.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again
Dark room?
obeyed blindly.
Is this a dark room? I suppose. Oh, okay.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders?
I was.
Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I
Well,
mess up the joke?
I don't know.
Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better
is.
at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
Yes, please.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, true.
With one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now. Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
True.
Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian.
Now we know how to be funny. We can all start a
survey
podcast.
Should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp.
Thank you.
After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
What?
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't
Somewhat.
it? Well, no matter. I think
Dunny
the
with the
fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
I'm Dunny with the funny. I can't believe I have to walk back.
I can feel it. This time,
I can't jump
I'm
off this
really
time.
going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious
Lost one of my stickers.
concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now?
Who knows?
Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
Sure.
The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke.
Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Just walking back.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors...
So he wants me to go through the
door on
right.
left.
Despite what he says.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back...
I mean, that's...
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
That was creepy.
It was supposed to be a build-up to this point.
No
a
build-up.
dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit, which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault.
Would you say you're Dunny with the funny?
Comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake.
I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch
Please
that
don't.
instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me.
No. No, it won't.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal.
Wonderful. We might have to wrap up, I think. Oh, it's the blue one again. I want the blue one. I want the regular one. I don't want dog mode. I don't want inevitable dog mode.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
Of course I do. It was okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yep.
Better.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
I
could
just
it
want to
mean?
see if the
Stanley decided to go
the
to
exclusive
meeting room.
content door is
Perhaps he
there
had
again.
simply missed a memo.
Nope. Let's wrap up there, folks. We are back tomorrow. We have a hangout live stream. Me and Ben goofing around and probably going to end up playing Fall Guys. It is 1 p.m. UK time, which I believe is 6 p.m. Canada time, AM. There will be a new episode out at 11 a.m. tomorrow as well. That'll go out on all your podcast apps pretty much for midday, I guess. Pretty quickly after 11, I think most of them. I think the latest one takes an hour, so it should all be up by midday. There was an error last week. For some reason, I scheduled everything and it just didn't happen, which is great. So sorry about that. And I also noticed that the Patreon episode, either it went out late or the social posts declaring that it is available went out late. I don't know what happened. There is Patreon content if you haven't heard it yet. We will endeavour to stop screwing everything up. But mostly I'm just glad I'm over COVID. See you tomorrow, folks. There is a new end screen. Enjoy the end screen. Ba-da-da. Bye.